It's been a while since I've actually had time to do a camera review or photography equipment review. I've been quite busy, graduated college, been working for a while now. So I finally got some time to do a little bit of a photography gear review here. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Nikon D5100. I've had this camera for approximately a year now. It's a good entry-level camera. They have the D5200 out now, which is good. This is still a good entry-level camera for anybody who just wants to get into professional photography. Even it's a good camera for doing video. So before I go over just more about this camera, from my experience from using it for about a year, let me just go over for some specs down here. So it's a DX format camera. Takes Nikon DX lenses. No internal motor inside the camera, so you have to have AFS lenses if you want autofocus. It has 16.2 megapixels CMOS DX sensor. It's the same sensor in the D7000. It's a much better sensor than was in the D5000, and it has a very good ISO range as well for a camera that's not that expensive. So this ISO range will go up to 6400 and it's expandable up to 25,600 on the high 2 setting, and high 1 is 12,800. Now those settings, you're going to have a lot of image noise going on there. You don't want to shoot on those unless you have to and you're trying to get some night shot that I'm not sure why you'd ever actually use that anyway. So yeah, it's got 11 autofocus points, same as the 5000 and 3000, 3100. It's very consistent with the 11 autofocus points for entry-level DSLRs. So the D5000 had a variable screen that you can move around. So does the 5100, but the 5100 changed the design when they made it 5100 and also the 5200. They changed the design that it flips out to the side instead of to the bottom of the camera, and this works out a lot better. It's good for taking video. If you really had to, you could take a shot holding it up, but my main purpose of using it would be for video. You could turn it around, you could see what you were recording, so that's a good feature to have. It has a live view switch at the top. It's a little different than what we've seen on most Nikon cameras. Switching on the mode dial with the live view. It's got effects modes, and these are very different than what we've seen before on Nikon cameras. Some of them are okay, but most part, if you're gonna do video, edit it yourself in post-production. Using these filters is not the quality is not always the best. The record button's at the top, near the shutter release, and the on and off button, which is different from the other Nikon cameras, and it's still good because it's easily accessible, and if you want to do video, it's easy to flip to live view at the top and then press the record button. So I've been shooting with this camera for about a year now, and I really do enjoy the performance out of the camera. The pictures coming out of the camera are good. I had the D3000 before this, and the photo quality is better, the ISO range was better, and I was able to do video with this camera, and the 3000 did not have that capability. The variable screen, I like it for doing video. Photography it didn't really have a point, and at least in my mind, because I always use the optical viewfinder if I'm taking a picture. What I didn't like was the fact that it's an entry-level camera. You can't get away from this, but it doesn't have a second dial at the front, like anything like a 7000, 7100, and all the more enthusiast and professional cameras that Nikon has two dials. One, if you're going to be in full manual, you can control the aperture and the shutter speed with two separate dials, rather than using one dial and then having to hold in a button to change the aperture. You know, for the price of when it was out, I believe I got it for about $700 when I first purchased this camera, so it wasn't that bad of a deal for what the camera was. Battery life is alright. If you're going to do video, it's going to suck up the battery really quick. But overall, it's a good camera. But if you want to have something that has more features and that gives you more control, you want to go in something like a 7000, 7100. They even have a D600 now for full frame, which is good. But overall, I've been satisfied with the performance of this camera. Right now, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet. I might use it as a second camera if I ever want to do a two-camera setup with video. But it's been a good camera for the last year that I've had it. So I hope to give you more reviews coming up here when I have more free time. It's been really busy, but yeah, so if you have a chance, and you ever want to pick up a good entry-level camera, I'd suggest maybe the 5100 or even the 5200 if you want the capability of having more megapixels. But the 16.2 megapixels in this does a great job, and it's going to give you a good image quality. And because that they have the 5200 out now, this is going to be cheaper. So if you want an affordable entry-level camera, I'd go for the Nikon D5100.